Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the Kindle Unlimited Readathon vlog. So right now is Friday afternoon. I actually started my first Kindle Unlimited book this morning called Us Again by Elle Maxwell. This one is a second chance romance and a rom-com. I actually wasn't even sure it was going to be a rom-com, even though the cover is an illustrated cover. But like after reading all of these illustrated covers that are not rom-coms, nowadays I'm just a little bit wary, not sure what to expect whenever I read an illustrated covered book. But this is very much like a rom-com-y feel kind of second chance romance. I was expecting angsty stuff, and while it is angsty, it's still a little bit funny and lighthearted too. The book kind of starts off with the hero stalking the heroine. Not in like a really bad way, but it's still not good, right? I'm only in the first couple chapters though. The main characters have only just reunited, and I'm just like, oh boy, I don't know what to expect. But I am loving that the hero is pretty much obsessed in worshiping the heroine and wants to make up for all the hurt that he's caused. The heroine is, of course, rightfully wary because he was sent away to prison for murder charges. It's not exactly true, but that's what she thinks. This is a debut book, I believe, and I mean, it's off to a nice start. I'm excited to read more of it. I won't be reading too much in the next few hours just because my cousin is on her way over, and we're basically just gonna be baking and playing with makeup, so that should be fun. We're planning on baking some recipes from this Martha Stewart cookbook that I received. Hold on, let me grab it. So here's the book, and I also grabbed my dog too. Say hi, Boo. Boo? Yes, Boo. So Martha Stewart's Cookie Perfection. We wanted to make cookies this time. Last time we made a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, and that took so much work. We used the Bon Appetit recipe, I think the one that Brad and Claire did for the Thanksgiving episodes, and that turned out really well. It was my first time making pumpkin pie, and not too shabby if I do say so myself. It's the pumpkin pecan recipe if you want to look it up. But this one, the cookbook, I received from the publisher. I mean, I know I'm a romance reader and a romance vlogger, but if they have cookbooks, recipe books that I can request, I will do it. So we're planning on making these pumpkin snickerdoodles, and we're also planning on making chocolate chip cookie brownies. How delicious does that look? So these ones shouldn't be too hard. They're fairly easy, simple recipes. Shouldn't take too long either, which means I can go back to reading for the KU Readathon. I honestly don't know how many books I'm about to read this weekend. I'm really excited about Come to Daddy by Brianna Hale. A couple people have been asking me about that one. So like I said, my cousin is on her way over. When she comes in, this guy will be going crazy. He looks like so calm and bored right now, but he goes crazy when he meets new people, even though he's met my cousin like 10 million times. Before I started Us Again, I was actually reading historical romances. I read 4 of them in a row, so I've been in such a historical romance mood. I kind of wanted to include a historical romance in the KU TBR for myself, but I don't really come across too many of that subgenre on Kindle Unlimited, or maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. But I do know that Kerrigan Byrne has her Highlander series, not the Victorian Rebels, but the one that she indie published, I believe, and she kind of re-released with new covers. That series is on KU, and I just downloaded one of them that was available for free. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the rest of this vlog, so I'll see you later.
Ooh. Dude, you went straight for it. Okay, I'll show you. Hey, stop.
He loves pockets. Hi, Boo.
Oh my god, bro. Is there music over this, or are you? Hello.
This is my cousin. We're about to start some bacon.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. This is our mess of the kitchen right now.
2 seconds in.
Yep. This is what we're making. Here is our cookie dough. a brownie mixture.
That are going to be formed into donuts.
Donut shaped. Currently making our pumpkin snickerdoodles. Pumpkin mixture. Dry stuff.
Right. Here we are. Oh God. Go.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not burnt.
Yep.
And the donuts. Ooh, oh my god, the steam
so
coming out.
Cute.
They're shaped so nicely now.
Oh my gosh. Beep beep. Oh, that looks huge, actually. Wait.
How big do they say?
Roll into 1.5 inch.
That is like
That's
3 inches.
That big? That much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be okay.
仲會軟爽，都要凍啲先得。
Wow, you stop when I look at you. Hi, babe. Okay, time for the reveal of the cookie brownie.
All right. Okay. It's a little stuck. Oh.
Oh my gosh. That looks so nice. Look at that, like, layer.
Amazing. Wait, look at that.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We have created something beautiful.
Hello, so I am ending day 1 of the KU Readathon. It was not that productive of a day in terms of reading. I didn't really get any reading done. I read the first few chapters of Us Again this morning, nothing since then. I spent the day baking and hanging around with this guy. But once I go shower and get ready for bed, I will continue with my book. So hopefully the rest of my weekend will be a lot more productive for reading, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi everyone, it is day 2 of the Kindle Unlimited weekend readathon, and I'm still on my very first book, Us Again. I'm liking it, but I'm not really being wowed or amazed by it. There are a lot of cheesy moments, but after this one I'm probably gonna start on some novellas just to make up for some time of not reading. I just finished with recording my best books of 2019 video. I'm about to edit them right here. The light got dark super fast, which is so annoying. And I always tell myself I need to record earlier, but I don't. It's always so funny when I look from the beginning of the video towards the end and how different the lighting is. Anyway, I'll update you guys once I finish Us Again and probably, hopefully, another book. It is the last day of the KU Weekend Readathon, and I finally finished a book. I finished Us Again. Oh, I am here with this bear and this dog. So Us Again, I think I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 stars maybe. I really didn't like it. I was so disappointed. It started off great, you know, like rom-com-y second chance romance, but it kind of devolved into this crime romantic suspense kind of thing with the whole drug dealers and whatever. And honestly, that got really boring. I just wasn't invested anymore. I wish I could have loved it more. I am currently in my pajamas, having a lazy Sunday. I did finally start reading another book, Ella Good, Oh Snowy Night. It's a novella, so I'll finish it in like half an hour. I also started listening to like How to Date or Dating Your Best Friend's Sister by Megan Quinn, and it's been a lot of fun so far. The narrators are both new to me, and I love the male narrator so far. So hopefully I'll get to finishing the audio and then another book, probably Come to Daddy by Brianna Hale. Right now I'm gonna go eat some In-N-Out, so I'll see you guys later. Hi everyone, so the KU Weekend Readathon is officially over. Kind of sad about that, but also kind of glad that I don't feel the need to furiously read any more books. I can just chill out. This weekend I read 4 books. One of them was a novella. I did not get to finish any of my audiobooks. I made it to almost halfway done through the audiobook, but I didn't finish, so I won't be counting it. So the first book I read, I mentioned, was Us Again by Elle Maxwell. This is a debut author and book, and I'm really sad that I didn't enjoy it more. It seemed like the perfect book for me, right? It's a second chance romance, a hero who wants to win back the heroine, but sadly it just didn't work out for me. The romance kind of peaked at around 30-40%. Like, they were already back together that early on in the book, and by then it's like, okay, so what next? So it turns out what next is like an involvement with this bad guy, this new drug dealer. The main characters were high school sweethearts, but when the hero Graham, when his parents died, he kind of spiraled and turned to drugs to, you know, numb the pain. And somehow he got involved with a situation where someone was murdered, and he was kind of pinned for it and went to prison for 5 years. He did not actually like commit the murder. He was just there in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now he's out, now he's back, and he wants to be with the heroine again. He wants to make up for all the hurt that he caused Mackenzie and hopefully try to make her love him again. The book did start off pretty strongly. Like, I was into it, into the romance, rooting for them to get back together, but that happened way too soon for me. The second half focused on Graham and his troubles with the drug dealer, with crime, and trying to keep Mackenzie protected. So it started off as a rom-com and then ended up as like a romantic suspense kind of novel, which was kind of weird. Wasn't something that I was expecting or even wanting, really. The writing was okay. I mean, I would want to read this author again, hopefully with a book that is a lot more focused and not kind of all over the place. I am giving this 2 stars, maybe 2.5. It wasn't like the worst book, but it definitely didn't live up to my expectations. I really wanted more from it. But again, I would want to give this author another try. Maybe her second book will be better for me. And then after that, I really wanted something like really quick and really hot, so of course I turned to a smutty novella and I read Oh Snowy Night by Elle Good. This one also kind of disappointed me, gave it 2 stars. I really love the animals in this. I thought they were probably the best part about this novella. They were so freaking cute. So this novella is very much a Christmas romance, and it's got a heroine who kind of ends up stranded in the hero's house, the front of his house, because she's on the run from an ex-boyfriend. Faith ends up pretty much bombarding Con, the hero, his house and his life, turning it upside down. He is your classic reclusive, antisocial, anti-talkative hero. He doesn't like Christmas, and then out of nowhere this gorgeous woman shows up with her cat named Smittens and like a light up Christmas, ugly Christmas sweater, and he falls in love. It was a very quick and short read. Both the main characters didn't really make an impression on me, but their pets did. The heroine has an adorable cat who pretty much labels herself queen of their new house, and the hero's dog, who is a husky, lets the cat do that. I thought that was super adorable, but overall this novella was not one of my favorites from Elle Good. And then on to the last 2 books, although I guess I'll mention the audiobook a little bit. So I listened to about 4 hours of The Secret to Dating Your Best Friend's Sister by Megan Quinn. This is my second book from this author. I read That Second Chance earlier this year and loved it, so I've been wanting to read one of her rom-coms, and I've been really loving the audiobook. Both the narrators are new to me. There's a female and a male narrator for the main characters, and the male's voice is so nice. I really love it. I think his name is Tor Tom. Hopefully he has other narrated audiobooks that I can look up, because I really want to listen to more of him. Obviously the trope is the best friend sister trope. The heroine is an owner of a matchmaking company, and the hero Bram has kind of always had a crush on Julia, and after losing a bet where the loser would have to sign up for Julia's company, matchmaking company. He sees this as his one chance to finally get Julia to fall in love with him like he is with her. So I was loving it. I'm really excited to finish the rest of it. Hopefully I'll finish it sometime this week. And now on to my last two books, which were infinitely better than the first two books that I read for the KU Weekend Readathon. The last two books are actually a duet, the Love Don't Cost a Thing duet by Brianna Hale. This is my first time reading Brianna Hale and I enjoyed it so freaking much. The first book is Come to Daddy, and I first heard of this book on Instagram from Tamika, Library of Tones, when she posted about it. And I mean, as soon as I saw the word daddy, I was like, oh, okay, let's see what this is about. So Come to Daddy is a sugar daddy, sugar baby kind of romance. It's got a like 20-ish years older hero, very rich hero of course. There is no daddy kink in it though, despite the title. The main characters aren't into that, although Ciara, the heroine, does call the hero daddy like as a joke sometimes. Ciara, after the death of her parents, who were not really good people, they were embezzlers. After they died, she's forced to take on their debt to this pretty awful guy named Demir, who is the hero's brother. The hero, Misha, knows of Demir's plans for Ciara and he does not want that for her. So he has his assistant, who is the heroine of the second book, plant this sugar babying seed in Ciara's mind. So they become sugar baby and sugar daddy, and this was surprisingly a really sweet and adorable kind of romance. I was expecting like really dirty and hot, of course, but while it is that, it's also really adorable as well, just because the hero, Misha, is kind of bashful and a little bit shy. He has never really had a relationship with women, wasn't expecting any adorableness or sweetness, but Misha is very much a teddy bear on the inside despite his grumpy gruffiness outside. I really enjoyed this story. I gave it 4 stars, but the second book was my favorite. I loved it so much. It's a lot darker and a lot sexier than the first book. So the second book, Lap of Luxury. So book 2, Lap of Luxury, is Demir, Misha's brother's story, and his romance with Misha's assistant Bethany. Hi y'all, trying out recording here in the car. I'm on my way to kind of the post office. It's not like an official post office, but they work with the post office, so I never have to wait in those crazy long lines, which is nice. I'm sending out a last Christmas gift after Christmas, of course, because I'm the worst. So continuing where I left off, and hopefully you can hear me. I read the second book, Lap of Luxury, and I freaking loved it. I was so surprised by how much I loved it. I didn't expect to. The first book was good, but the hero of Lap of Luxury is the brother, and he is pretty much a psycho. He was the bad guy in the first book. Alright, well, I'm here anyway. It's literally like 2 minutes from my house, so super fast and easy. Alright, so I am done. Took me 2 minutes. Lap of Luxury. It's a dark romance, a lot darker. Well, not a lot, but definitely darker than the first book, Come to Daddy, just because the hero is kind of a psycho. He's not a good guy, but he's not like pure evil either. But I loved him. I loved his relationship with Bethany. Demir and Bethany were just perfect together because they were both a little bit messed up. Because Bethany is actually, so her sexuality was bloomed from horror movies. The classic ones, like Nightmare on Elm Street, the one with Michael Myers. I don't even know. I don't watch horror movies, but she grew up on those horror movies and she grew up being turned on by those horror movies. She gets off on horror and danger and blood. Her relationship with Demir is pretty much perfect because he is the embodiment of all of these horror movies. So they're perfect together. I love them, and I love how funny it was too. I was surprised by the humor by this one, but I shouldn't have been because Bethany was pretty funny in the first book too. Like, she's always got some quips with Misha trying to push his buttons. In the sequel, it kind of overlaps with the story in the first book, only we get it from Bethany and Demir's point of views. Bethany is kidnapped by Demir, taken on this super yacht because he's filthy rich, and stuck there for weeks with him. I just got home, so I'll just finish talking here. She's not exactly happy about the kidnapping because obviously, but at the same time she knows that she has this weird connection with Demir, unlike anything else that she's ever had, and she wants him as much as he wants her. And they have some explosive hot times together. I loved the chemistry between them. And I love that she has a very lighthearted view on things. Like, despite her kidnapping, despite falling for the psycho, she loves to make jokes and make light of the situation that she's in. And I really appreciated that aspect of her and the story. Bethany is pretty much roped into helping Demir on his quest for revenge on the people who've betrayed him, who've wronged him, and all the while he plays out her dark fantasies, and they're so hot. I just love their relationship. I loved how obsessed Demir was, how perfect he was for Bethany. He's definitely like a dark alpha hero, an anti-hero pretty much, and it was so funny sometimes. Demir is keeping track of, you know, the outside world because he's kidnapped Bethany and is trying to make sure that no one is on the lookout for her and no one is trying to take her back. So he has Google alerts or whatever, and when he finds out that no one's put out a search for her, no one's worried about her, he is offended on her behalf and actually puts out a missing person alert for Bethany, and I thought that was just so hilarious. Like, of course he would, even though that goes against everything that he's done so far, but he was just so offended on Bethany's behalf that no one cared enough about her to report her missing. Because she is an orphan, she has no family left, no friends. So yeah, Demir wrote a missing person alert for Bethany because he couldn't believe that no one would care about her that much. That's basically their relationship. It's twisted, it's messed up, but it's perfect for them, and I loved it. I also love the contrast between Bethany and Demir's relationship to Misha and Ciara. Like, Misha and Ciara are very much wholesome compared to Demir and Bethany. They're sweet, they're adorable together, and towards the end of the book, end of the series, there's this action scene. Ciara and Misha are like, I love you so much, don't die on me, okay? Bethany and Demir, well, Demir is basically like, don't die on me, if you die on me, I'll kill you myself, and Bethany's like, wow, so romantic, but that's them, and I really enjoyed it. I adored their story, gave it 5 stars. Loved it even more than the first book for sure. I just love a good dark hero, good anti-hero, and Demir was exactly that. These were 2 great romances. I love them. I'm really glad that I finally got to read Brianna Hale. The first book is great if you're looking for like an intro to dark romance, whereas the second book is very much a dark romance with blood and violence. So that was my KU weekend readathon. I had a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone else's vlogs and videos for the readathon. I'll leave a link to all the co-hosts down below, so make sure you subscribe to them and watch their videos. I'll also leave a link to the books that I read that I mentioned in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!